to the show now. We'll dive in deep. Your health and the wellness in your hands to keep. Tips and tricks to know now. Stories that inspire. Living life with knowledge, set your mind on fire. Tune into the dot. Health from head to toe. Together we'll unlock the secrets you should know.
So Kendra, thank you so much for joining the podcast today. We're excited to kind of start the series of getting to know the leadership here at Wyandot Memorial. So thank you for coming on. First question is truly the hardest one. It's introduce yourself. What do you do here? And then tell us kind of your journey throughout Wyandot Memorial.
Well, thank you. Thank you both for having me. I am Kendra Noyes, the CEO of Wyandot Memorial Hospital. My journey here is not the most usual journey. I started out in housekeeping and linen when I was 19 years old, and did not realize that I would grow to love the culture here so much and wanted to be a part of something much bigger than me, and didn't want to be clinical. I love and respect clinical people. It just was not my path. So I decided to go a different direction and wanted to work in the physician offices. So I went back to school and did that and worked in the physician offices for a number of years. And then I've had various roles throughout, as overseeing the physician offices, the COO, and now the CEO.
So over your 25 years, with all of those different roles, you've been in every kind of level of the organization. How has that journey shaped your way, the way that you lead today as CEO?
I don't just lead. I actually work and work alongside of everybody else. I think that being in those roles, I understand where they come from. So I see those people. I've done those jobs. It's not just about our titles. It's about how we show up every single day. And doing that, I think, helps me lead in a little bit of a different manner.
I know that you and I disagree on
all the time.
The amount of time that you've been CEO. Mm-hmm. It was announced last February, officially took over in mid-summer. But what excites you the most about leading this organization and stepping into CEO?
I will say what excites me the most is this is such a great organization that everybody shows up every day for our patients. We are in an environment in healthcare, I would say everybody says it's challenging, and it is definitely challenging. But I always look at challenges as opportunities. So I think that just being able to remain independent and go through those challenges together will be the most exciting part of all of it.
We actually most recently launched the new strategic plan for 2026, 2027. So where do you see Wyandot Memorial over the next few years? And especially kind of with that new strategic direction of sustainability?
So the last couple of years, we really were focusing on growing to serve and compete, which we absolutely needed to do. We were in an area that was relatively stagnant. We had to grow and we had to change. Now it's really just focusing on sustainability, looking at 4 key pillars, looking at our community, our people, our excellence, and our foundation, and really just making sure that we are sustainable for the future and that we're here and independent for many years to come.
That's great. Even though it sounded rehearsed.
It wasn't,
I know.
Actually.
You really know it wasn't.
It actually really wasn't.
But we've done enough of the town halls, right? It's almost like second nature now to talk about it. We got to make the strategic plan video. And so just hearing everybody talk about that too, reinvigorated our excitement for the strategic plan. So thank you.
It's hard to do a video because I don't like to sit still. So I catch myself thinking don't move around a lot.
Who cares?
That's her too.
Yeah. And I'm a fidgeter.
Same. Yeah.
I am not. I am a sit in one spot.
Well, and I've also noticed that you get the prime seat too, which is rather annoying in itself, but that's fine.
I mean, Ben and
we're here for it.
I'm glad that finally somebody is embracing that it's my world.
Yeah.
And you all just need to kind of live in it.
We're working through it.
I did have a conversation with Ben last week when we started these and said, I don't care how anybody else looks. It needs to make sure that I look good in this seat here. So, I appreciate everything Ben's going to do to make us all look great. But love truly the main concern is right here in this seat.
Of course it is. Story of our lives.
What do you think makes Wyandot Memorial unique compared to other hospitals or health systems around us?
I would say our independence as well as just our small community. We're a family here, good, bad, or indifferent. We know each other. We take care of each other, even on the bad days. Our independence helps us, so that we can move quickly for our friends, our families, and our neighbors, and we can meet them where they are in their unique health needs.
Josh kind of mentioned like the strategic plan and the launch of that. How do you plan to foster buy-in and enthusiasm for the strategic plan, especially like from the employees who kind of may feel skeptical of the changes that are coming with that plan?
Keeping them involved in it, I think, will be key. We've recently just started sharing the newsletter where we're going to be highlighting that every other month or so when we send that out, and also showing them how they're moving the needle every single day. It's not about us. We may have developed the plan, but it was with input from others, and it's also going to showcase how they're actually living it out every single day.
One of the things that really impacted me to my core was, one, because I didn't come up with it. And so I was really, really jealous when Kendra sent me
It makes my whole day.
an email and it said, "Together we keep our promise." Truly, for the last year or more, we've been really talking about how every single person in this organization impacts the patient's experience. And not that it wasn't ever thought that way. I think we're just more, we're communicating that a lot more and explain to people that no matter what, even in marketing, us here, we impact, the communication style to patients, the way that we market our services. All of those things truly go into every touch point for the patient. So I think we've done, it's helped me understand a lot more too, what everybody does. But the "together we keep our promise" really does still impact me today, because I'm like, I should have came up with that. I went to Jenna, I think originally, I'm like, "Did you come up with that for her?" And she's like, "No." I'm like, how did I not think of that? Like, that is our role here, is to come up with cool stuff like that. So now we have it on everything.
Yes. I rewrote that email probably 65 times. I wanted it to be truly from my heart and authentic. And it does take all of us to do this. It takes every single person in this organization to move the needle and to take care of our patients.
I think you're always going to have people who are skeptic too, right?
Absolutely.
You're always going to have people who are
Aren't we all?
Yeah, to some point. But I think that's, I'm even seeing the shift in people are getting on board, and people are excited and willing to really be a part of the team and move the needle for what's best for our organization, because healthcare does look extremely different if a large health system were to ever come in here. And so I don't know if everybody really understands that. The way that we're able to do healthcare now and are able to provide that care is much different because of our independence and because of our kind of our structure.
I agree.
So as a lifelong community member, what do you see as Wyandot Memorial's role? What is Wyandot Memorial's most important role in supporting the health and well-being of all of our neighbors?
I think just staying engaged with all of them, hearing their needs, focusing on where there are gaps in care and what we can do to assist them in those gaps.
When we're looking at that, how do you, as the leader of the organization, really leverage the balance between growth and sustainability, and also accessibility? So how are we making sure that we're being accessible for patients of all ages? Because you and I talk about it a lot. I'm probably not the typical patient that we're seeing here. I would rather schedule online. I would rather do everything kind of before I even come in and see my provider. So how do you balance kind of that strategic thinking?
I think that's key, is we have those conversations with everybody involved. We meet with the providers. We discuss some of those needs. We share the trends that we're seeing within healthcare, which, ultimately we rely on you guys for that, with the healthcare marketing data, the market share. Where are people tending to go, and what services are they tending to utilize? So just having those conversations and keeping everybody involved. I'm not a typical patient either. I'm busy like everybody else, and I want to schedule online too. So those are conversations that we have to have, and we continue to do that. Not everybody wants to schedule online, so we have to be able to meet everybody, which does make it a challenge, because there are times where it's easier just to go one way versus another, but we also want to meet everybody where they are.
Our organization and healthcare over the last 10 to 15 years has gone through tremendous change. What do you see as the biggest challenge for rural hospitals today? And then how are we how do you anticipate us responding to those challenges?
I would say a lot of our challenges still are, the reimbursement changes that are happening. They happen consistently. Just keeping up with, that we're making sure that we stay on top of those trends. Looking at AI, looking at those items, thinking outside of the box, because we're not a large health system. We don't have endless pits of money like others do. So how are we able to obtain those services to keep us at the top of everything that we do without utilizing all of our funds? And
so we talked about challenges, but what about opportunities? What opportunities do we have as a small community-based hospital compared to, a larger system?
We can move quickly. We're able to, not that we're breaking rules or anything like that, but we don't have to go through a huge hierarchy of things. So if it's the right thing to do for the patient, do it. Everybody has my approval for that. If it is the right thing to do, please move forward. I think that just being able to pivot, move quickly, we can add services rather quickly. We don't have to go through a huge approval system. And we're able to meet our patients exactly where they are in their journeys.
I think one of the key examples of us moving extremely quickly was we opened an office in Marion in like a matter of days.
2 days. It was probably about a week in total. I've opened a lot of physician offices over the years. That was by far the fastest, but we had to do it, and it was able to be done.
It's sometimes I think it's a double-edged sword. I describe a lot of things we do here as a double-edged sword.
Yes.
The ability to make quick decisions and move fast is great. Sometimes would be great to say, well, corporate said, we have to own every single decision that happens here, even though it would sometimes I'm like, man, it would be great to pass that buck to somebody else.
You can pass it to me.
Oh, all the time. I'm like, I don't know. Kendra said.
It's fine.
That's Kendra's fault. I tell Jen all the time, Kendra's the one that wants that posted.
It's fine.
Kendra's the one that wants video. No, not
no,
really.
Kendra doesn't.
You mentioned earlier that healthcare can be challenging, and we've heard it a lot, like with other people that we've interviewed on the podcast. But then thinking about leadership, I know that can be demanding. What inspires and motivates you, like on tough days?
I would say the people. And I say that a lot, and I truly mean that from the very bottom of my heart. It is the people in this organization. Seeing and hearing the impact that is happening every single day, in spite of all of us, is huge. And so I truly want to remember that more often than the negative, of course.
Mm-hmm. And then thinking about our mission of keeping, our promise to be your hospital, what does that mean to you personally?
This is our hospital. It's all of our hospital. It's not just the community's hospital. Everybody that works here, it is our hospital too. And I want this hospital to be my kids' hospital someday when they're grown and still independent.
Absolutely. And I think that buy-in truly does happen here. The culture is people truly believe that this is their hospital,
Yes.
And everybody treats it like their own, which is amazing, especially when you look in today's world and there is barely loyalty to any organization. We are kind of the extreme other end of that is we have extreme loyalty here. I mean, we talk with so many retirees who put in those 30, 35 years here and loved every minute of it. Now, obviously, there's a lot more transition within the employment world now, but still we're seeing people that are here 15, 20, 25 years and still want to come back every day. Mm-hmm. It truly does speak to the culture that we have here.
Mm-hmm. So if you could go back and give your younger self a piece of advice, what would that be?
Oh, goodness. I would say enjoy the journey and try to be as present as possible. It's easy during the journey to get caught up in shoulda, coulda, woulda, but at the end of the day, it all leads you where you're supposed to be. And so I think just enjoying the journey and being present.
As a leader, you've been a leader for a while here. What advice do you have for a young leader that's potentially coming up or that is interested in being in a leadership position? Like Jenna. Jenna will be a leader here one day. She already is. I think everybody is considered a leader. But if it's here or somewhere else, what advice would you give Jenna as a young leader of what to do?
I'm probably not the best one to ask that to sometimes, because my advice is always to say yes. And when anybody asks me like how I got to where I am, from housekeeping to CEO, it is because I said yes. I said yes to everything. And it wasn't transactional. It wasn't for more compensation or a title. It was truly just for the opportunity to learn. Learning every position throughout helps. And I think that just the learning opportunities that are available here are huge. And I don't know that everybody understands that sometimes.
I think too, that also bites some of us in the ass, because it's like, well,
Yeah.
that's not how it is. And she's like, well, no, actually I've been there. So I do know what it's like in a provider's office or as a housekeeper. So it's almost like,
Yeah, they can't lie. They can't pull things over on me.
No.
I try.
oh,
It's cute.
it
really
actually
cute.
is so funny. She's like, well, actually I was doing that and here's what it is.
Yeah.
But no, I agree. I think that's one of the things that I would say too, is to say yes, and be helpful and excited to be a part of something bigger than yourself. Right. I think that is always a great leadership tool to have.
Mm-hmm. Thinking like 5 years from now, or even the next 3 years, what do you hope like staff, patients in the community say? Like, what do you hope that their thoughts are about Wyandot Memorial?
One, that we'll always be independent. We'll still be here for them. And truly that we are their trusted healthcare partner. Staff, I really just hope that they see that they matter and that they truly are a part of something so much bigger. It's easy to get in your day-to-day task. It truly is. And even when you're in a job as a clinical staff member, it is their job, unfortunately. But at the end of their job is a person, and they are making huge impact on these patients every single day. So I think that I hope that they say that we're always going to be independent, here for them, trusted, but as well as we're stronger than we were. Not that we were not strong, but we didn't lose ourselves in that, getting better.
We were going around doing like short reels a few weeks ago, and one of the staff members said something about when a patient comes in, she treats them like it's like they're her family.
Absolutely.
And I thought that was very like, it just makes you like take a step back, and like the staff members really do care about our patients like it's their own family.
Yeah.
And it's like so great to hear stories.
When you look
like
at
that.
some other models where it's, you have to see a patient every, I'm going to say 7 to 9 minutes, and it is in the room and out of the room. And our model truly embraces those providers and those staff members to have an interaction with the patient that's impactful and meaningful, to make sure that we are giving them the best appropriate care that they can have. Is very different. I know I had somebody this weekend come and talk to me about their experience they had here, and they're like, the provider sat in the room with me for 25 minutes. And I'm like, yes. They were like, I felt so bad because they're spending so much time with me. And I'm like, that's what we want. We want them to make sure that they're hearing all of your needs, all of your concerns, and addressing them accordingly. And they were talking about maybe a competitor. And they were like, well, I didn't have that there. I'm like, that's why we're different.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we strive to be the best that we can be. But it really is, I think, from everybody, from doctors to nurses to frontline staff, everybody takes such pride in the work that they do here. And so that culture is important.
How would you say, how can employees, providers, community members best support you in the hospital in achieving your goals?
I would say staying engaged. If you don't understand something, ask questions. I'm completely open and transparent, sometimes to a fault. I would say just staying engaged and continuing to share our story. Josh and I talk about this on a regular basis, and there's a lot of key words that I say a lot that people get annoyed with. But
Intentional.
Intentional. Intentional is my favorite word.
All the time.
But we have so many great brand ambassadors here that don't even realize that's what they are. And just by continuing to share our story, I think will help everybody stay engaged. And just participating, talking to your representatives. There's so many things at the federal level too that we really need some help on when it comes to healthcare. So just staying engaged and informed, I think, would be the best.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Last question before we get into anything more of the fun about you questions. When your kids look back, what do you hope that they take away from watching you lead, not just as CEO, but also as their mom?
I would say that we can do whatever we want as long as we put our minds to it. My kids get very annoyed with me when it comes to that because I have one key word that I've said to them every morning that I drop them off at school since they were little, and it is to leave the world a better place. You know, it takes every single one of us, and I want them to see that you can do whatever you want as long as you put your mind to it.
That's great. Is there anything deep that you want to ask us before we get into anything personal, fun?
Not deep, but I do have questions.
Oh,
I do. Yes.
love that.
And not the list that I accidentally sent to you last week.
That's
either,
fine. We're prepared for
because
anything and
that
everything here.
was for something totally different.
Yeah, I'm going to just defer to Jenna.
Yeah. I want to know this since you guys have been doing the podcast, what has been your favorite topic?
We've done enough of these now to where they all run together for me. And so that's unfortunate. I was listening to these this weekend. But I think there are pieces of every single one of them that stand out to me. Like Dr. Secor, knowing his journey, it was, I'm going to either be a doctor or I'm going to be a professional bull rider. Never would have thought that at all, ever. The fact that he's an author. But then Dr. Harris talked about, you know, with preventative screenings, there are so many cancers that you can detect early. And in her opinion, people shouldn't be dying from cancer if you're doing the preventative screenings. I never thought that. I didn't.
So you're scheduled for all your preventative screenings?
Oh, 100%. Diane Solis understands my spiral on the regular. So, you know, those things are always great. Tiffany and Belinda, we had them on for a mental health podcast. I mean, a few of them with Tiffany Potcotter, just hearing them talk about, you know, their journey and how they deal with stuff on a regular basis. I can't imagine the spiral I am on the daily. They're dealing with that every single day for themselves and for their patients. So we've taken so many tips and tricks from stuff from each of them. I know I treat it almost as like a free visit with anybody that comes on here.
I'm not surprised.
So I ask all the questions, but it really does stand out to me how unique we are, and seeing that it's a fun thing that we get to do. I think I tell people all the time, we're not dealing with sick patients. We're not dealing with typically unhappy people. Jenna deals with an unhappy person on the daily with me, but I think that for the most part, it's fun. It's engaging. We're getting to tell the best things that are happening here. And it definitely sometimes becomes heavy, but at the end of the day, when we get to see this podcast produced and out there and seeing people engage with it, like it seems worth it, in my opinion. I'm speaking for you too.
No, I agree. I agree. I think it's been cool to kind of see, like, especially when we do the podcast with the providers, to see them, or to kind of get to know them on like a more personal level. Like Dr. Harris was telling us that she goes home and does nothing. And it made me feel like kind of better about myself, because I'm like, I do like that. Like, I don't, you know, like, it's just, you think that they have their lives together and, you know, they go home and have all these things to do. And like, she's like, I like to just go home and chill. And I'm like,
Still a mom. She's still a human.
yeah, like it was really cool to see that. And I think another thing is like just hearing stories of like how much people truly enjoy being here and, you know, being a part of this organization. We hear the same thing all the time. Like it's everybody treats each other like family. And I think that's really cool to hear.
Anybody who listens has to think it almost sounds rehearsed.
Yeah.
Because like everybody is saying, like, it is definitely a motif that we have on the podcast is how thankful people are for our organization, but really it's not coached at all.
Yeah. I assure you, they do not script us for these things. There's no preparation, even for those that really would like the preparation.
Yeah.
There's none.
Yeah. Even if there is, he changes it.
Yeah. As soon as you walk in the door, you know that the questions are going to be completely different than what were presented to you.
That is my favorite thing to do.
It's much easier just to not prepare.
When we first did it, we gave the questions out, and Jenna like came over with the questions like, no, I want to redo all of them because we don't want them to be scripted. We want to hear it from you. We did one podcast with Riley and Anna, and Riley read off of the sheet of paper, and I let her go. And then I said, that all sounds great. Can you tell us in a like non like scripted way? And then she was just like, but then did it, you know? And I'm like, you made it relatable for the listener to be able to understand,
which is the intent.
billing. Yes. Good question.
All right. Well, I'm not done yet.
Oh no,
I mean, at the end,
Formal.
I have 6 pages. I'm kidding. I don't really have that
Fine.
many.
We're paid by the hour.
Joe, what answers from listeners make you really lean in and want to listen more to them? Not listeners, actually, from
From guests.
yes,
From the
your
guests.
guests. What answers from guests make you really want to lean in and hear more?
Whose podcast was it, Jenna, that it seems like we just sit here and chit chat, but it's listening, anticipating the next question. Some of the questions that we have listed, you've already answered. So like it's re-scripting things like in the moment. There was one provider, I can't remember who it was. Maybe it was Dr. Robbie Puckett. He was on here and he had such a heartfelt answer. We both were just listening and didn't plan the next question. And so there was this silence and I'm like, I'm so sorry, I'm lost. Like I need to go back. And it was great. Because on the back end, then that all gets edited out. But we both were just sitting. I look at Jenna like, help me. She also was just listening. We weren't like retaining what he was saying or like just listening to answer. We actually were like listening to what he had to say. So it was like super, like we've done that a few times now. We're like, I'm so sorry. I was listening. Dr. McGinnis did something about a procedure that he does. And I was like,
Well, it's hard not to want to listen to all things Dr. McGinnis says.
because then I'm just staring
We
at
all
like,
want all
I need all of that. Yes. Whatever you're talking about injecting, I need inside. So it's nothing really to me stands out because everybody has such a different journey, has such a different background. Sometimes when we do that and we're listening and we're not responding, it really means that we were engaged. And so I think not that we weren't engaged with yours.
I'm not taking anything personal. Are you
Isn't
kidding
that
me?
great?
I want them to all have better stories than me.
But no, I think that's one of the things that really stands out to me is when somebody's really talking about their journey. And a lot of time it's a provider because not everybody grew up thinking I'm going to go be a doctor at Wyandot Memorial. Hearing that journey of coming here always takes me back.
Mm-hmm.
So next podcast is going to be us interviewing you guys. How about that?
Oh, easy.
Not prepared, nothing. It's almost like an interview, It's the same thing I asked Josh in his interview is how do you enjoy marketing? Because I'm sure you went into it for all of the fun, everybody thinks that marketing.
We both went in to just go to healthcare marketing.
No, you didn't.
That's what we were like, you know what? I want to work
calling
in
you
a hospital.
out. But most people think marketing is just all a good time. It is truly event planning. It's making all the pretty things, ordering all the fun stuff. But it's so much more than that, especially in healthcare, because not only are you doing those type of things, you're also doing that with a lot of opinions involved, but you're also taking a very serious medical condition that has to be spot on or we're giving out false information to our patients. So it has to be difficult. We appreciate you guys. Totally appreciate you.
My favorite thing, what we do a lot is revisions. We do a lot of revisions. And typically before anybody even sees the revision that they're looking at, we've had 100 before that. So like we've changed things a million times before it's even presented. And so like it comes back and we do a lot of revisions. My favorite thing is when someone's like, I don't like that color. And so like Jenna will bring it back and be like, hey, they don't like this color. And I'm like, who looks at the color other than you and me? Like that is just
I don't pay attention.
The wildest stuff. It's sometimes I'm like, I didn't even notice that. Like
I do say if it bores me though, like if something bores me, I'm like, oh, I'm bored.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of how I say it. I'm really sorry.
That's how it's on everything.
It's not.
It's nice.
It is not.
But sometimes it is annoying because, like you said, who looks at the color?
I don't care about the color. I just want to know if the content is appropriate.
Well, and that's really what we try to focus on is making sure we know things to a certain degree, but like I don't know if the information is 100% accurate. So that's what we want that department leader or that department expert to really help us with that. We'll get into some personal questions. How would you live differently if you knew you'd die in exactly 1 year?
Oh, goodness. I honestly don't know that I would live much differently other than
I'm not sitting in the seat.
I would
you
be
could count
at
me
the
out.
beach.
Yeah.
I would be living on the beach.
No house.
No house.
Nothing,
I
just
need a house.
on the beach for the
I
next
just need an umbrella. Oh, I would have a beach house or something.
What's the most impulsive purchase you've ever made?
A house.
Oh,
Within 24 hours. I wanted it. I did it.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It went on the market that morning, and I made an offer by the end of the day.
Really?
Did you see the house first?
Yeah, I went over my lunch break.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a positive.
Yeah.
Bought it sight unseen. Just
Hey.
write the check.
No.
If you suddenly went missing, who here would be most likely to solve the mystery to find you?
You.
It's this girl right here.
Or Kaylee.
Yes.
I think put us
Kaylee.
together and yeah, we'd have it.
you and Kaylee 100% solving all the mysteries.
Kaylee.
The day when I was dead for 2 minutes. My body wasn't even cold yet. And you guys had the search party out for me.
We were calling the sheriff's department. I was having Jenna reach out to your family soon.
Yeah.
I'm just at home napping.
Living your best life.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
screaming.
What's worth spending more money on to get the best?
Oh, I have a couple of things. I would say concert tickets,
Yeah.
definitely baseball tickets, purses.
Everything.
Yeah,
Just-
sometimes. It just depends.
Just write the check.
Yeah, ask my daughter.
The last one for this before we get into some of those questions that Jenna have is
If you had to be on a reality TV show, which one would you choose?
Well, I love all the housewives.
yes.
Probably not the answer anybody would expect me to say, but reality TV is kind of my thing. I kind of like it.
It's like you have to think about it,
mindless.
right? Yeah.
It's pretty mindless. Vanderpump Rules was my favorite forever. They were my real friends.
What's a phrase you say all the time?
Oh, it depends on where I am. Here, I often say intentional, which Josh loves when I say that. We need to be more intentional about things. Another one is don't always assume ill intent. Just because somebody is asking you something or doing something doesn't mean they're coming at you with ill intent. And everybody gets so defensive.
What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
I would honestly say don't assume ill intent. I actually got that from Anne many years ago.
So there's a couple of this or that's for you to pick. So would you choose the Dot podcast or the Link magazine?
Oh. To be on or to do the Link, of course. However, I do like listening to the podcast. I listened to it last week, Cadence, and like I said, I laughed the entire time.
I think it is something that sets us apart is we do some unique things here. So the magazine was kind of the new best thing at the time. The podcast, and now looking at some of these other things that we have coming too is going to be really exciting.
I'm also a reader, so maybe if the Link was in Audible, I would maybe lean towards that too.
If you notice, we put a lot of photos in there.
Yeah,
because
I'm a reader.
I'm a visual person.
I'm a reader.
Make up your own story in there with the pictures. That's what we're back to. Phone call or text?
Text.
Answer that one real quick.
And a text before a phone call, please.
Same.
Night shift or day shift?
In the middle.
Oh, so you want like a second shift?
Yeah, I don't love early mornings. Rule number 1 is no 8 a.m. meetings for me.
Yeah.
And I also don't love late nights. So I'm kind of in the middle.
Pepsi or Coke?
Pepsi.
What's yours?
Pepsi.
I don't like either of them.
I mean,
I
I
think they
don't
taste the
either,
same.
but it was either or, so I answered appropriately.
No, I get it. I just, I love that.
It's usually coffee or water. Oh, and updates.
Coffee. I would like you to say
Yeah.
coffee or energy drink.
Yes. Coffee, water, and then update.
Yes.
And then water.
If you could time travel, would you go to the past or to the future?
Neither.
You just want to live in the present.
I do. I don't want to go backwards. I mean, it led me where I am, and I'm okay
Yeah.
with that. And I definitely don't want to see the future.
What about you?
I mean, that's a good answer, but I would definitely say the future if I had to choose between past or
Just because you leave for vacation next week, that's another reason that you want to just fast forward to
No,
Florida.
My past, like I was young and like dumb. Not in like a bad way, but
No, I love it. I love
like
it.
this
It's how
part of
you
my
get to
life-
where you are.
Yeah, like I'm more mature, like I'm more independent. Like I would not want to be who I was in the past.
It's a good answer.
Same.
But Kendra, thank you so much for coming. No, it's all right. Thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate it. I know that on behalf of Jenna and I speak for her all the time. We're so excited to be a part of this organization, to be a part of this movement with you, and to help bring kind of your strategic vision to life. So thank you for coming on. Thank you for embracing kind of the outside of the box ideas that we have, and really dealing with me. I appreciate it. And whenever you want to come back on, we're always willing to have you.
Thank you guys for having me. And again, I appreciate all that you do to continue to share our story. Sharing our story is what's going to help us move everything forward so that people know how great we are truly here.
Tune into the dot. Health from head to toe. Together we'll unlock the secrets you should know.